Hi, this is Fien from the One Size Happy podcast, the podcast where we want to make everybody happy with their bodies. And today, Vinny, my husband, has joined again because I wanted to have a conversation with him about the current lockdown and how that is definitely affecting people with eating disorders. So let's talk a bit about that. The thing is, we're both in the same house, but we're sitting in different rooms. So we're actually in isolation in our own house. The only reason for that is that it's just easier to record the video and podcast via Zoom. So that's the only reason. It's not like we're sick or we're having a fight. So just to make that clear.
It's social distancing.
Yeah. So there's a bit of an echo I hear, but yeah, we're talking about isolation, and if I look back on it, isolation would be if I would have an eating disorder right now. This would be the perfect time for my eating disorder because I would live alone and I could do whatever I want. I don't have to go out, so I don't have to meet people. So that would be actually a really good time for my eating disorder, but not for my health. So, um, what's your take on that?
I think it's true. In my deepest moments of eating disorders, I try to hide as much as possible, like what I was doing. So, yeah, one, you do have the social pressure of your peers that are constantly around. So it's tougher to hide if you're living together with someone. But if you're living all by yourself, it's yeah, it's easy. You don't have to go outside. You don't have to face anyone. Um, there's no questions. You're in complete solitary right now. Some people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do think it's a tough time for people who are living alone with eating disorders. Um, and it's a tough time for people who are living with other people as well. But yeah, it's like not going outside is pretty. It's promoted right now, so it's easy to get swallowed in by your eating disorders right now. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I was thinking also, there was a time when I lived at home with my parents and my sister. And I can imagine for people if they are in the middle of an eating disorder and they live with other people, as you said, there's going to be a lot of extra focus on you and your eating disorder and what are you eating and what are you doing. And I can imagine that that is a really tough time. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
there's
was
no
wondering,
chill.
what?
Yeah, there's no chill right now. It's
Yeah.
like back in the days when you were in school, that your teacher was constantly looking at you. Are you paying attention? Are you writing this down or whatnot? It's the same. It's the same kind of feeling, but just yeah, more pressure.
Hmm. So, is there any tip or advice that you would give to people who are having a hard time living with other people at home, not being able to go outside and be constantly, yeah, focused on, or yeah.
I mean, my number one tip would be like focus on something else. But nah, it's more like put all your energy and effort into social media, because you can, like, I would just like connect with a lot of people right now if I would be all alone and not necessarily like talking to people. I would just like look at people, like if somebody's like, I mean, this is a part where everyone is distancing themselves from each other. So if you're going on social media, you can see that there's a lot of people like on their story going live, just having a Q&A or just talking to people, or even you have this thing you can do on Instagram is ask me a question, and you can just uh, communicate with people right now. And I think that would be like the best thing to do right now if you're feeling all alone at home, uh, especially with eating disorder. Just reaching out to people and talking to them, not necessarily like, if you don't want to talk about eating disorders, that's okay, but like just saying hello to someone can lead to a conversation on Instagram, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
don't be shy.
but the thing is, you don't have to go on social media to get connected with people. Because I was thinking, what would I suggest to people that are struggling right now? If you live alone or with your parents, doesn't matter. Um, because I was thinking when we started dating, and we talked about our eating disorders and we had our binge moments at the time, then we discussed like we can call each other anytime we want if we have a difficult moment. You remember that conversation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I most of the time I didn't call you when I had those moments, or I called you afterwards or something. But just the thought of knowing that there is one person that you could call if you really needed it. So I was thinking like that could be something that people can do right now is ask like one, even if it's just one person that they really trust. And indeed, it doesn't have to be about eating disorders or something, but just one person, ask one person that you really trust, like, hey, can you be my person,
Buddy.
my go-to person that I can call if I'm having a difficult time, or yeah, I
Mhm.
think that is something that has that has helped me, and that can help maybe other people as well.
That's true, but I do want to emphasize that we already knew each other. And there might be a lot of people in solitary right now that don't have anyone like that, or like that have people they know, but like people who, how should I say it? Like, if you confront someone, like a family member, and you talk about eating disorder, half of them won't even know, like, what is it? Like, half of them won't even know what it is. And the other half will be like, uh, it's okay. You're gonna be good soon. Or like, even if you're just having a bad day, like, from personal experience, my family doesn't want to talk about it. So like, you need to find someone who you can connect with, and that's something you can right now, when everybody's in solitary, that's something you can do via social media platforms. And that's what
Yeah,
I was referring to Instagram for.
yeah,
But if you do have someone like that, or like a best friend, or a sister, a brother, yeah, you can like arrange something with them, like, hey, if I'm having a hard time, would you mind if I call you or something? And most of the time, people like, we're always, not always, but most of the time, we're scared of their reaction. But most of the time, their reaction will be, sure, you can call me anytime, anywhere, any place, even if it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, so yeah, just find a relationship with someone. It doesn't have to be family, or it doesn't have to be your wife, husband, partner. Like, it can be anyone. But like, try before you like go into a place where you contact someone, like, build a relationship with them as well, because like, there's so many people out there, and you don't want like every part of your personal life, you don't want to throw it just out there, you know?
hmm
So yeah.
that's why I said like someone you trust, that you can con that you can ask to be your go-to person, or someone that is your go-to person that just checks on you regularly, that you say like, can you just check on me regularly, like just send me a text and ask me, are you okay, everything okay, something like that can help, I think.
Yeah.
um yeah, because I had like a second thought that I wanted to discuss with you, uh is about yeah,
Music?
what?
Was it music?
No.
Because like, one of the things that I could like recommend people as well is just listening to happy music, because most of the time you trigger like a song you love. Most of the time you'll trigger it with a happy moment in your life. So just keep rocking a good song. That might cheer you up if you're feeling down. But go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's what I suggest every time. Like, do a happy dance or something. It has to do with music, but it's like getting in action, like dance and go crazy or something. But that brings me to the second thing that I wanted to talk about is like exercise. Uh,
Hmm.
it's like the government is now very focused on your physical health, which is pretty logical because it's a physical disease that we're dealing with right now. So it'll really like go for a walk, go outside, go for a run, or ride with a bike and that kind of stuff. Um, and then I just start wondering, like, it's all this focus on physical health. First of all, they're not really talking about mental health that much, although it's changing a bit. But second, for me, that would be it would be a triggering thing because I always felt the need to exercise the whole day long.
Yeah.
And um, they're now promoting to exercise, and it's like, yeah, a vicious circle that you think like, yeah, yeah, but it's a good thing, it's a good thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta know boundaries in every kind of situation. It's hard to like search for these boundaries, and you don't want to limit yourself. So speaking of boundaries, it's pretty difficult. But yeah, it's really healthy to go outside and go for a walk by yourself. Don't meet up with a group or anything right now. But it can become a difficult thing if if you become obsessed with it, and just like go outside running for 10 hours straight. Um, but
But people can go out with one person.
yeah,
So
that's true.
what you can do is like ask your go-to person that you trust. If it's someone that is hopefully nearby, then you can at least go outside with that one person. And then you can have a conversation with that person, which is like two, I don't
Yeah.
know, in, in Dutch it's like twee vliegen in één klap. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I get the point. But no, it's true that you get to have quality time with someone that you might not see for a very long time else, and you can easily just talk about anything then, as long as you keep distance from each other. And you can exercise, you can go for a walk, but I wouldn't recommend like going full throttle and um, working out like 6 hours straight, to like compensate for what you just ate or how you're feeling. But working out does stimulate endorphins, which will make you feel happy, uh, which is a good cause. So I would recommend you to go outside, or just at home do a workout. Just find your sweet spot so you don't exaggerate.
Yeah, that's always the advice, but now it's just extra triggering, right? Also
Mhm.
because the government tells you to, and also because so many people are joking around about like before and after the lockdown, and like after you're gonna weigh, I don't know, 30
Yeah,
pounds extra and that kind of stuff. And it's like, it's funny. I can laugh with that. But I can imagine if you're like in the middle of all this, you're going crazy, like, oh my God, I'm gonna come out of this like
yeah.
huge.
I understand, and but like I would say like I would advise people to don't focus on things like that. I mean, you are well aware of what you're taking in from media, and you are well aware of what you're browsing for. And if you're struggling with your body image and stuff like that, don't go full depth reading comics or jokes about um, now you're weighing this much, and after lockdown you'll be weighing 30 kilograms more or pounds or whatever. because that can be triggerous. So just steer away from those kinds of posts. And you can like, for instance, on Instagram, you can like right click something or with your thumb and then hide as it's irrelevant. I don't want to see it. And then they will like try to mark those kind of posts away from you. Because for some people that's funny, for some people it can be a trigger. So just, I would like just try to focus as much on positivity and self-growth, or just things that make you happy, instead of like going to those dark places and searching for those dark things.
But that's, yeah, you were talking about social media earlier, and like connect with people on there. So yeah, you cannot go around these.
Yeah, they can come up, and you can see them, but there's a difference between seeing them and inspecting them. Like if you like inspect a post and read every letter and like search for a meaning behind it all, like that can be triggerous for you. So if you see a post that like on first glance you'll go like, this might not be good for me, just skip it. Don't waste any energy or time on it. But if you're searching for like ED recovery, you're going to find all sorts of posts, and you're going to find posts that can trigger you. You can find posts that will assist you in a positive way. But like everyone knows what's good and bad for them. Everyone knows, it's in our human nature. So if you look at something in your first glance and you feel a negative vibe from it, just skip it. There's no need to put any energy in it. If you see a post and like, you can easily find it. You take your phone, you just swipe up, and the instant you see something and you get a smile on your face, that's your sweet spot. Just put your time in those kind of things. If it doesn't make you happy, don't waste time on it.
So unfollow accounts that don't make you.
Just you can inspect every account and inspect every like there's like three dots at every image. Like if you hold down your mouse on it, your thumb on it, and you can just mark every post that doesn't make you happy as irrelevant. And like every post that comes up and makes you smile. Like the algorithm works like that you will get those posts that you liked, and they will show more of those kind of posts to you. And if you hide stuff that is irrelevant or doesn't make you happy, you will see less of it. So just program your Instagram like that, so you'll get less of the negative vibes from it.
Yeah, I've done it as well. I just blocked every account that I don't want to follow anymore, that makes me feel crap, and that makes me feel like I need a six pack really soon, and why am I not getting it?
Yeah, exactly. For some people that can be a positive trigger, for other people that can be a negative trigger. Some people it's just careless, but Instagram will show you all kinds of things, and once in a while you just need to update your feelings on it and your preferences so that you will see more of what you like.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this one thing I've written down about Corona and all this kind of stuff. I think we talked about it before. Like eating disorders have a lot to do with being in control. And if there are certain things that outside yourself that you cannot control, then food is like a good thing to control, because it's the only thing you can control. And now we're like in this time where it's even more out of our control what is going to happen in the outside world. So there will be even, this is a really bad time to have an eating disorder. I mean, oh my God, like there's the only thing that you really can control right now is food. So
I think that's why you need to create habits.
Yeah.
If you are sitting at home and the only thing you can control is your food intake, then you need to start making things that you can control. Like make a daily schedule for yourself. Like, you know, every day I'm going to wake up at this hour. Every day I'm going to go to sleep at this hour. Every day I'm going to eat. Every day I'm going to read 10 pages of a book. Every day I'm going to do like an hour yoga. I'm just saying random stuff, you know. I'm going to go for a walk for an hour. Just put things in your day that you will do daily and that you can't um, steer away from. Like even making your bed has to be on the list. If
Yeah,
you do
kind of
that,
structure, create a
yeah,
structure or some kind of order in the chaos. Like,
if you do that, you will have way more control over everything around you in your life, and you will feel less stressed out about the stuff you cannot control outside. That's what I think.
yeah.
That's what I do as well. I mean, I started the 75 hard challenge to have more control over my life, to be more dedicated in what I do every day, to like, you know, everybody has those kind of days where you just wake up, your alarm didn't go off, or you missed your alarm, or you hit snooze for 10 times. Um, and you just like, you're sitting at home in your pajamas and you don't do anything the whole day and you go to sleep. And like, you're like, I didn't have a day. Like it felt all so blurrish. So like, I didn't want to have those kinds of days anymore. Just get structure in your life, and like progress will be immense. Like you will feel less need to overcompensate on the things you cannot handle from control.
Mm-hmm. Which is just, I just had a memory that you just said something that I was thinking about. When I used to live at my parents, or after that as well, when I was in the middle of my eating disorder, I had a totally different rhythm. I lived at night because then nobody was up, and I could like eat or do whatever I wanted. So that was my daytime. The night
Yeah.
was so strange. So
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's good to have a like put habits in your daily routine. Like if you put on your daily routine that you are gonna wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, then you can't stay up all night because you're gonna wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you're gonna feel bad. You're gonna feel tired, no energy, like nothing. So if you put like a daily routine in your schedule, like you build habits, um, yeah, that's
gonna
gonna be
bring
one.
some order. It's gonna bring some type of control.
Yeah, and it's gonna be one of those temptations that you will remove out of your life.
What do you mean with
Like
that?
if you're waking up in the middle of the night just to eat, like that is a temptation. Like it's a bad habit actually, and it can trigger more of those kind of behaviors. But if you have a daily routine, you're gonna eliminate that bad behavior of waking up in the night because you have to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and else you're gonna be tired.
Yeah, that's a long road, though.
It is a long road,
That
and like
such a long time waking up at night, really in the middle of the night to eat stuff. That
yeah,
was a habit that I took really long to stop doing that
but
because I was up during the day and I ate twice as much because I was eating during the day and eating during the night.
mhm.
Yeah.
But I mean, like habits aren't easily created, and they aren't easily um, torn down. That's why you have to do repetition of day after day after day after day to create those habits. But if you start somewhere, that's good enough already. Like the challenge that I'm doing, the 75 hard, isn't an easy challenge to start off with, but you can like make it as easy as possible. That will keep you on that schedule, because nothing is going to change if you do it for 5 days and then stop doing it. Like, but if you put one thing on the list, like for instance, just you're waking up and you're going to sleep.
Hmm.
If you put that on the list, it's really easy. You know, it's just putting your alarm clock twice a day when you have to wake up and when you're going to go to sleep. If you put your alarm clock on these moments, then it's going to be easy to follow those guidelines. And then later on, you can add things like 10 pages of a book, like I have to, go for a walk every day, like all those things. You can add them like not simultaneously, but just after a while, you can add one more thing. If you're comfortable doing those things, then add one more,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah. Okay. One last thing that is, regardless of eating disorders, that is a challenge, is getting sick,
Mhm.
like getting this virus. I'm a hypochondriac, so I think like every 2 days that I'm sick. So, but if you have an eating disorder, like, doesn't matter if you're on both sides of the
Spectrum.
if you're
Yeah.
extremely low or extremely high weight, they're both at risk. Um, like everybody else, but I mean they have a higher risk of
Yeah.
getting really really sick or even die. Um, so that must be some real challenge, like knowing that you have to take care of yourself and that you have to eat healthy, because otherwise you're gonna get sick. But at the same time, oh my, that must be such a struggle,
It,
and the stress factor, an extra stress factor, like it would be a trigger to binge.
but on the other hand, um, I'm just gonna be honest here. If you have anorexia, you are already risking your life.
Hmm.
If you have obesitas, if you're morbid obese, you are already risking your life. If you have bulimia, you are risking your life. It's not healthy, like taking everything that you eat, putting it out. It's not good for your stomach, for your throat, your heart. Like all these forms are already bad for your health and risking your life. So it doesn't even matter if there's a virus that's outside right now called corona. You should always be careful for your body and your health. Okay, that is one extra filter right now, the COVID-19. But I mean, you should always try to take care of your body, and like you should always try to live. That should be our primal instinct, just surviving and living. So it can trigger like binging right now, or other kind of things, but it's not healthy. So what, like, I would just advise everyone to try to stay as healthy as possible, and don't search for the problems.
Hmm.
If you
But
know that
maybe,
you're sorry.
no, I was just thinking because in the meanwhile, I've interviewed a couple of people already, and I've always asked like, what was the uh, trigger or the thing that made you realize that something had to change? And everybody so far, okay, like 5 people, but everybody so far that I've interviewed have said me, including myself, that there was kind of a physical trigger, like
Like
thinking
any
that
heartache.
you're going to die or something, that really made them think like, oh, this is maybe not the right way, or this is not worth it. So maybe this can be also, yeah, be a
Yeah.
good thing, like a sign for people who are in the middle of this, like, you're not in a good state of mind, you're not in a good healthy situation, and there's this thing outside of your control that can make everything even worse, and
Worse.
it can be like an eye opener that, yeah, that something has to change. So maybe it can be a good thing as well.
Like, it's difficult to say it can be a good thing, because yeah, everybody knows there's so many people dying from it right now, so that's sad, but like I truly get what you mean. um, Everybody, like, the only way to get over eating disorder is you facing yourself with it, and like having a drastic measure taken, like I don't want to die. That's like the most drastic thing that you can ever like face. It's the choice between living or death. And right now, especially if you're in a far state of eating disorders, like on both ends of the spectrum, you are like endangering yourself right now. So that can be an eye opener. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I'm just trying to reframe it in a positive way. Like it's sad that this is happening right now, but at the other side, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for nature because nature is restoring itself right now. And I try to look at it in a positive way, like what is this trying to teach me? Because it's yeah, it's teaching us what is important right now. Because all the things that you used to have that were so um, normal,
Everybody took for granted.
yeah, is not so normal right now. So it makes you think like, what am I really missing right now? Um,
And what you have to focus your quality times on, like for instance, like people working like a day job or a night job or working 20 days and 20 hours a day, who didn't spend that much quality time with their family, and now all of a sudden they get to do so much together with their family, and like it's probably going to be an eye opener for them as well, because like, do you really want to work 20 hours a day and see your family, only in the weekends? Or yeah, and like a lot of people will set their priorities straight, so that's a good thing in this situation. I
it can
believe
be good
that.
health too. Maybe people
Yeah,
will realize now, oh my God, uh, who got sick and got better right now, or yeah, we're not sick, but just realize like, yeah, I'm not doing that well health wise. So it can be a positive, that can be a positive thing if we, yeah, if we look back on it. It can
you
be a
just need you just need to find like all the good things in life, and focus on the good things. I mean, like I was sick, I was in the hospital like 3-4 weeks before this COVID came to Belgium,
Mhm.
and I was like in the ER, and like I didn't know what was happening to my body, but like I felt unhealthy, and I started getting myself on track, and then the COVID-19 hit, and like it hit me. I was like so grateful for just having my health, because people around us have been in the hospital. Like neighbors from us have been in the hospital for COVID-19, uh, and that can be an eye opener, that we really have to be thankful and grateful that we're not in that situation right now, and that we can actually be healthy and live.
Yeah. And we're gonna round this up. I don't know if that's
I'm
right.
gonna finish it.
But um what is the situation teaching you right now? What is the lesson that you get out of this so far?
Apart from being grateful, because that is my number one thing right now. Like I'm just so grateful that I can be healthy. I'm grateful when my family is healthy and friends. Like actually, like one of the things that I mean, like I like right now about the situation is everybody's so distancing each other from each other, like distancing themselves from each other. But like I've seen so many people reaching out to random people they don't even know, asking them, "Can I help you?" And that is like something that is so beautiful. Like like there's a lot of people you can't even do anything for,
Hmm.
and they know that as well, but you're still offering your help, and that is like such a beautiful thing, and that is what I think is amazing right now. I mean, like I've seen influencers who only talk about partying and drinking and whatever, and now they're actually like, guys, help each other. If I can help someone, send me a DM or talk to me. Like the beautiful sign that like people hand over flyers well, not hand over, but they put them in your mailbox with a number, with an email address, and like saying like, hey, if you need something from the store and you're incapable of going yourself, I can do this for you. That is such a nice gesture, and that is what is truly amazing about this situation, that we're all coming together as a society.
Mm-hmm. It's like we're all doing this social distancing thing, but the people that are most important to you, yeah, I have the
They're not
feeling I'm
even
getting closer to them right now.
yeah, but not even not even the people that are close to you, because like we've had neighbors that we don't even know, we've never seen them, and uh, they put a paper in our mailbox saying like, hey, if you need groceries, I can go get it for you. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know who these people are, but like it touched my heart to see that we're distancing ourselves from everyone to stay healthy, but in the same time, we're growing together and stronger as a community, which is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's good.
That's
So,
it.
anything? Yeah, there's one thing I want to mention. Because we talked about um, the first thing we talked about was searching for someone you can talk to if you need it.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to say before we finish this that we are both yeah available for talks
Yeah.
via social media or like whatever. Um, but I just want to mention also that NBN, it's like a Belgian organization where I'm
Volunteer.
volunteer as well. We normally had these face-to-face meetings, but there are a lot of chat sessions available. So I will link it below. But for everyone who's struggling and you don't have this go-to person you can talk to, then you can always schedule a one-on-one chat with someone from ANBN. So you can at least talk to someone who will listen and who understands. And it's via chat, so if you don't want to dress up or yeah, if you don't want to show your face, then it's perfectly fine. So I just wanted to say that as well.
Yeah, it can be anonymous. And you know something, as it's the second time on this podcast, and I really enjoy it. I want to say thank you for providing this source of information and just having us talk about our stories. And I think, like, personally, I'm going to comment on this video as well, because I have another question that I can ask you for another podcast. Maybe someone else can explain my question as well. So if the community who's watching this right now has questions, feel free to comment below, so that Fien um, can interview people or write these questions down, or answer these questions herself as well.
Yeah, well, that's good. Thanks for adding. Thanks for being here. And yeah, we'll
Thanks for
talk.
having.
Bye.
Bye.